J360 Radio.
Hello, J360 Legion, and welcome to the J360 MiniBytes here on J360 Radio, hosted by J.M. Brady. I am your host, J.M. Brady. Let's get into it. Hey, how's it going, J360 Legion? What is happening? It's a new week, and this is your host, J-Man, and we are back on the MiniBytes for episode 202. Yes, we are doing it. Once again, that steady climb upwards is still happening, and like I said, the upgrades are doing great. We're here on the new home of J360 Radio, here at j360radio.mixler.com, so if you want to tune in live, you can, or if you want to tune in the post-game, you can do that as well. And then not to mention, like, you can catch this and all other episodes on Red Circle. The link is right there in the description, among everything else. So, yeah, guys, it's still happening. Like, the whole thing I told you about, the upward climb, upward momentum, is happening still, and I'm loving it. I'm here for all this energy, y'all. It's just amazing where we are growing, you know? It's amazing when you just need a new change of pace and you move. But yeah, life is great. And let me just tell you this, you can even listen to this stuff live on j360productions.com. Just letting you know that. Yep. But all in all, though, things are still steadily growing, and I'm happy about that. However, today's subject matter is one that we constantly deal with: social media. And see, the thing about social media is, like, in concept, it's great. Like, you have everybody talking. You could be that center of attention. You know what I mean? It's just an extension for whatever you do. If you're creative, or if you have business knowledge you want to share, or like, any sort of good information out here and things that you would like to, present, you can. But you see, once again, it's been abused. It's been misused. And then there comes a part where, you and me use it and we don't use it correctly. Yeah. Because you see, like, a lot of people have been talking about the algorithms. They've been talking about, like, not posting as much. They've been talking about, like, some people have gone through desperate measures to go viral. They've been going through desperate measures to try to save TikTok and all this other crazy stuff. It's once again, it is just unbelievable how all this stuff comes into play, and usually it all leads to nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, as I sit here, guys, I mean, I look at my Facebook page, I look at my Twitter, I look at my, you call it X, but whatever, I don't give a damn, I'm still going to call it Twitter. You look at the Instagrams, I look at threads, and you know what I see a lot of? I see a lot of things that either A, have nothing to do with me, or B, complaints. I see a lot of, would-be actors talk about their frustrations. I see a lot of would-be, filmmakers talk about their frustrations, and then not to mention, like, the cosplayers and all this other stuff. And then, of course, you got the OnlyFans crowd in there. They're doing great, but then again, they're still on their little island where they are, unless they're out promoting this shit in, like, areas where general audiences are, and not giving a damn about that, by the way. Hey, she sticks a banana right up her windpipe, and, at the end of the day, we're all really happy about that. But is it art? I don't know. You tell me. All I know is this. At the end of the day, a lot of the art that we need is always being blocked and closed out, whereas, like, a lot of other art is always being pushed to the forefront. And it could be because of followers, like, they got in at the right time and they accumulated their followers to the point where they can do things, or they paid for bots and they paid for all this other stuff so they can get pushed up where they are. Even then, it still messes up their whole analytics and stuff. And trust me, I've seen this crap all the time. And I gotta say this, I'm glad I don't pay for bots. I'm always focused on organic growth and SEO, and I do a pretty good job with it. Like, I do my own stuff. But I also know, like, there are people out here, like I said, gone through desperate measures. Some people have even talked about their mental health. They talked about how, like, this is destroying them, and that, like, I can't do it anymore, and then give up, and then they got nerve to complain about art, like art just isn't in it because they're not getting the results that they feel that they are deserved. And they try their best to interrupt people like you and me who, once again, don't give a fuck. The algorithm was made by a bunch of people who wanted to control us. That's what the algorithm was made. It wasn't made to make people feel safe. It wasn't made to, curb like criticisms and stuff. That is PR at best. This was made so that they could control us, so that we pay money into it, so that they get a cut of everything we do. That way, so our dreams and hopes of going viral and all, once again, we paid for it. Like a long time ago, you could go viral based off of just anything. It was a whole different beast back then, and you pretty much could do what you want. You had a lot more freedom and all that stuff. Nowadays, you sit there and you're like, oh my God, is this going to take? Is this going to take? Is this what it's going to be? I put a lot of work in on this video and this podcast. What am I going to do? And then you notice like a lot of people stopped doing videos entirely, went into audio podcasting. Of course, video podcasting is the thing. But the truth is that they started going into podcasts as a way that it was low effort and hopefully it could boost them. And the problem is there's so many of them, some with no staying power, some with a lot of, hey, let's just talk about things that everybody likes, and then once again, everybody's running around with the same voice. Because not only are they trying to please their fan base, which is impossible because you can't please everybody, they also try to please Facebook and the algorithms and all this stuff. And it's sad. It really is. Let me make myself perfectly clear about this. I'm not trying to please Facebook. Facebook can kiss my ass. All of it. You know what I'm saying? Instagram, WhatsApp, all that crazy stuff. They don't own Telegram, but they might as well. All that shit can kiss my ass. I do not care. All right? Because social media works for me. Here's my whole thing. On the hierarchy of needs, social media is way, way down south. You know what I'm saying? Like, usually it should start with how I'm feeling, where I'm at, how I got everything all together, the staff I'm working with, the clients I'm working with, and then beyond. You know what I mean? There's a whole pecking order here. And Facebook and Instagram are not at the top of that shit. Never have been. You know what I'm saying? Like, when stuff's ready to go, like this episode right now that you're listening to, that's when social media should be right there with me. And not only that, should be an extension of what I'm trying to do here with other creators, and not to mention with the people that work with me. That's very important, And like, if anything else, I've met a lot of idiots through social media too. I met some good people, but I met a lot of morons too. They'd be like, why'd you send me this? Even though it clearly says J360 Productions on my page. This has nothing to do with me and me as the person entirely. This is about the business. And the truth is, getting the word out there, getting all this stuff together. And it's the most beautiful thing. Like, it's possible to do that. But if you are out here thinking, why you send me this? Well, listen here, Mr. or Mrs. Entitled. Go fuck yourself, because you're one out of 1,000 people on my page. And if you've been following me this long, you would know what the hell is going on here, because it happens every week. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't feel sorry for you, no, because I'm running a business. And the truth is, as you go into ads and as you go into promotions, make sure you have something that you need to say if you're going to be paying money for it. Like, for a while there, your stories were good enough. For a while there, your reels were good enough. But now, they notice this, you're not going ahead and using main posting anymore, even though it's still there. And it looked like such a tease when it's there, because Instagram doesn't really go for the photos as much as it does for videos. And, they're not trying to hide that fact, because they were over there trying to compete with TikTok. All these social media apps at one time were always competing with each other. And, like, the newest kid on the block, like, all of a sudden, Facebook had to have their version, YouTube had to have their version. And it's just like, one way or another, you see this stuff, and it's like, why don't you just be you? What about your uniqueness? What about all the cool things that you're supposed to be? And they have long since forgotten it. But you know what? As they got big, and as they got more corporate, and as they got more about this, they realized one thing. How to drive anybody who's a user insane by blocking out any sort of message that goes against their narrative. See, me, myself, like I said, it's not on the hierarchy of my whole thing. I don't have to be on it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I'm on Instagram because of the followers that are on Instagram. Like, I'm on, like, Twitter sometimes because of the followers that are on Twitter. But once again, it has to be something that everybody likes. Like, I don't make stuff for everybody to like. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not intended to. I am not over here curving my artistic vision, my business, the whole thing that I'm over here designing for, and I'm not over here, compromising who I am just to please a bunch of fucking morons in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some good people out here who get it. And then there's my fans who understand it. And then there are people out there who I have not met yet. Well, you know what? We're going to meet eventually. And the truth is guess what? I'm not stopping. This is my journey. You know what I'm saying? And I see a lot of people trying to come over and hijack my journey because their journey's not working out. And I have to tell them to get fucked. Leave things alone. And I stand up to them like I stand to a lot of people. That's just what needs to be done because I have to fight to maintain mine. Now, you might be insecure and you might be over here red raw about everything because, your thick skin has long since been shedded because of all the stuff you went through dealing with any of these microsites. There's always a way to counter this stuff. And I'm going to tell you, it's not always stop posting. It's not always, like, at the end of the day, like, get mad at everything. It's always about, like, figure out a different approach and stuff. Like, you guys would know this better than anything. Like, all the energy that you wasted wondering and worrying about this stuff. I had a guy one time talking about, like, if he knew how to, create fine arts, he would have passive income. And I looked at him and I said, learn how to fucking draw, asshole. Pick up a pencil, like, start drawing shapes. Because that's all drawing is. It's like, oh, I wish I was a better writer. Once again, you wrote all that stupid shit on, Facebook. Why don't you go write something? Then come back. It's going to be there. But everybody over here is either talking about their weight gain and their body's beautiful, or they're talking about what they cannot do, or like how inadequate they are, who they're cheating on, how the marriage won't work out, or if they live with their parents again, like things are not shaping up for them. I mean, once again, you over here making in a bad place mentally, making your problems multiply, and you wonder why people don't want to deal with your ass. You know what I'm saying? It becomes more personal than about the business. I remember why I got rid of my personal Twitter. I remember when I got rid of certain things. I still have a personal Instagram, but, I remember why I got rid of that shit. And I would tell you why, but you guys are smart enough to figure it out. What am I usually on the business talking about? Look through that, right? See, that's why I threw that. But, it's just like with anything else. These are tools, people. These are tools. And the only time you should pay for it, like, is when you want to. When you have that message and you want to go ahead and push that. That's all you need. But don't be over there looking at it like, oh, I'm going to pay this much and then I'm going to go ahead and get as many impressions. If I pay this much next time, I'm going to get this many impressions. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because that's just as bad as these people trying to tell you, we cracked the algorithm code. If you give us an arm and a leg, we will do what we can to make sure that you know how to be business savvy. I'm going to tell you how to know how to be, I'm going to teach you how to be business savvy right now. Figure out your marketing plan and then follow through on that marketing plan once you really know what you have to say. Because all you need is one right now. Know what the hell your budget is, because these motherfuckers will rob you blind just like that bitch off of OnlyFans will. If you ain't good with your money. But you sitting over there thinking, oh, people are going to notice me then. They will not respect you. You need to know exactly why you do what you do. And you need to know exactly what your message is. And you need to understand this. Social media come last. In the beginning, it's about you, your products, your people that work with you, the people that you're selling to, all that other stuff. Like right now, it's about those connections. Everything else comes a lot later. All right? And I want you all to keep making your art. Those of you out there, keep making your art, but don't try to hijack somebody else's dream. Work on your dream. Believe in what the hell you're trying to do. Do you even know yourself? Do you know what your identity? Do you know your story? Do you know everything about you and why you matter? Some of y'all don't. You just want to get in quick and easy. And at that point, I can't do nothing for you. We're going to extend this episode a little bit because I do have to mention that Jams is happening this week. There is still some room, but, like I said, a lot of people came up in here and took advantage of this, baby. Like, people were ready for 87. So 88 will be active as I say this right now. So I'm going to go ahead and let some of y'all know. If you do submit, it's going to go to 88. All right? And 88 will be in a couple of weeks as well. Matter of fact, it'll be the first jams of April. So I'm letting a lot of y'all know this stuff. That way you're prepared and you're ready. So it should be really, really cool to see how everything turns out. But jams is happening this Friday at 10. And also there's a J-Man episode happening tomorrow at 10. Yeah, we're still on the 10 spot for a little bit. I might move things up to 7. I don't know. I'm going to keep you guys posted on that. But we still got a lot of things to take care of here at J360 Productions. But as I've always said, guys, like, don't get bent out of shape because of this stuff. Really take some time. And if you are, take some time to breathe. Take some time to understand, like, they need you to keep them running. All right? They need all of us to keep them running. And there's lots of other little social media sites you can go to that you could go ahead and put your art on as well if you want to. But like I said, take a few minutes to really identify what you're doing and remember why you started. You didn't start anything to please Zuckerberg and hell, I think about it a lot. I didn't do anything to please Zuckerberg. I didn't do anything to please Jack when he was around. I damn sure don't do anything to please Mux. I damn sure don't do anything to please whomever is in charge of YouTube. Because God knows I didn't give a damn about Auntie Sue back in the day. You see what I'm saying? These are things for you to remember. Don't be like everybody else, griping, bitching, moaning, complaining, and it's pathetic. Do you see what I'm saying? I say that a lot, but it's a fact. I'm just trying to drop you guys some truths and remember, like, with me myself, I don't give a fuck about social media. I will go ahead and be on record right now to tell you I'm willing to let social media go. I really am. You know? But all in all, though, we're going to have to go ahead and put the brake on here. And as per usual, like I said, you can always DM me. You can always email me and all that kind of stuff. You know, just stay in touch and all that jazz. But it's like this, though. I tell you guys this stuff before any of the grifting comes into play. And let me tell you, that's some real shit there. But we're out of time on this show. So I got to get on going. So this is J-Man signing off. Y'all take it easy. Peace.